I had like the worst life ever, the most miserable. Well, not the most miserable, but it's been a miserable existence for a very long time. I had a job in Florida. I hated the job after a while. I did good at the job. It is a diet clerk making $9 an hour, living in Overtown. My rent was like 500 a month. I was probably bringing in like maybe a little over 1,000. I think I made $10,000 that year. Meanwhile, my married brother with 5 kids drives a truck, and I don't know what his wife was doing. She was working and stuff, and they was struggling worse than I was. But I started looking for another job real hard. Used up all of my days. Didn't get the job that I initially set out to get at this hospital. I just screwed that up and put in my 2 weeks notice at this job and didn't want to go back for nothing. I had a hard time finding a job down in Florida, but I guess I didn't have my shit together. Um, and I was older too, like in my 30s, mid 30s. So the restaurant thing, they had a whole bunch of young females, mostly good looking young females. Um, After I quit that job, I ended up with a restaurant job at Denny's. Now they was all set to hire me, but then when it came down to the date when they told me to come down there and fill out the paperwork and stuff, I couldn't. I had to work, so I told them I'd come down there another day. And when I called them back, they was just like done with me. I guess they just never responded. So I didn't have no job for like a few months. Then I got a job at Bubblegum Shrimp, and I went for a second job at an airport at this cake place. It took them over a month to finally hire me. They was waiting for my background check. Back then, there was nothing in my background. I was homeless for a year. Got in trouble with the law because I threw a brick at a bus. I like snapped out. I was putting myself through truck driving school, and this one company was like, "We'll hire you." No, they didn't say he was gonna hire me. They said we'll send you through the training and stuff. You got to move to St. Louis, but afterwards you might not have a job because you live in Florida. And I'm like, so what, you gonna train me and then I owe y'all money and I'll be over there in Missouri stuck? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Um, that was the day that I snapped out, went to jail and stuff. I was supposed to pay them restitution, like 2,000 something dollars. I ended up getting fired from Bubblegum. Couldn't pay them. Didn't have no food, nothing, and I was homeless still. Got a truck driving job. That didn't work out. Then I ended up moving to Louisiana. I was still homeless. I was working at Commanders Palace. I was probably making like $400 to $600 every 2 weeks. Ended up quitting that job after like maybe a year or so. well, close to a year. Ended up working somewhere else, running food, doing the same thing, and I was making 600 every week. Right before I went to jail there, and then started driving the truck again. I'm driving the truck. My auntie gets cancer. They take it out. She dies anyways. My mom is hitting me up and making up stories to get cash. She got a gambling problem. My brother wants thousands of dollars from me, and he like, you owe me because I told you about the truck driving thing. Well, the truck driving thing wasn't paying what everybody think it pays. I worked there for 6 months, and when I got my W-2 forms, it turned out I only made $8,000 for that year. That was less money than I ain't never made so little of money. I done worked at McDonald's. I done worked at all types of places. I ain't never made so little of money. But left that job, took the truck when I wasn't supposed to, and drove it down to Arkansas. And then came across the bridge to Memphis and stuff. So now they got on my DAC report safety violation. So it'll be hard for me to get a job. But it's been 3 years, so they can't tell anybody what happened. And I'll just tell them it just didn't work out. Shit. But they might give me a hard time. I could probably drive a bus or whatever. But right now, what's going on is I got fired from the temp agency, and I'm waiting for this job to hire me back. And they said they will hire me within a week's time. And now it's been 2 weeks. And I'm anxious. And I'm thinking that job gonna come too late. And I done lost another cat, and I got one cat left, and she got 5 kittens. And they developing real fast. The people, the counselor I'm working with is telling me I have to wait a whole year to get a house. And she like, oh, you have pets. I understand they like your children and this and that. We'll figure out something. There's second chance apartments and stuff. There are no second chance apartments here in Memphis. They kicked me out before them. I was supposed to be protected from being evicted, and they kicked me out a month before the federal mandate was over with. I had just applied for a second job, and it took them a month to hire me because of my background. It took them a month. It's 2021 when he was doing this. You could do a background on yourself, and your background information to come up instantly. Instantly. You get your background check as soon as you put in your credit card information. But with these companies and stuff, these background checks take a long time. Now, this company that's supposed to be hiring me is supposed to be overlooking the background. They're supposed to be overlooking the felony. And the felony shouldn't even be a felony. It should be a misdemeanor. But it's a felony. And they're going to take forever. I'm sure that I'm going to be fucked up by the time they come. And it's going to be a struggle. And it's making me anxious. It's making me nauseous. And I'm about to go into work tomorrow at this job, and every time I go up there, I feel sick to my fucking stomach. I'm gonna need some cash though to get back and forth to work to this other job. This job is gonna be the turnaround. This job, I'm thinking it's gonna be my happy ending. I thought the truck driving was gonna be my happy ending, but that truck driving job turned out to be a shit ass job. And then you, everybody is at the money because they think I got money. They think I'm making 100,000 a year, and I'm not making shit. I was having accidents and stuff. They was telling me if I had one more accident that they was gonna fire me. That's a lot of pressure. I had medical stuff going on. I'm not ready to talk to y'all about yet. That was just fucked up. And then I had my auntie, so I was losing my family, and I still was homeless. It's fucking me up in the head. Now I'm about to. I know I'm losing these cats, and it's fucking me up. And this job is paying substantially that I'm maybe about to get, and it's going to be like, I mean, I'm talking about 6,000 a month. I'm looking at houses. They raggedy as hell. Some of them like they got a lot of water damage and bad roofs. I was looking at one that was 24,000. I'm thinking 4 months, maybe I could 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months. I could just buy me a house flat out and not deal with these mortgage people if they want me to go through all these hoops and stuff. Then they just lost one person. They just lost one person because I had a means to do it, and I had a means to get me a car right away too. But everything is dragging out. Like it's taking so long. I think I'm about to go and look for another job. The thing about me getting another job is I don't want to get a job and then a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from then I quit that job. You understand? I don't want to do that. It costs money to hire somebody and to go through all of that process and stuff. They did the background check, and then the lady called me days later, like, you ain't finished doing your background check. And I'm like, what? There's this thing in Louisiana where they do a workman's comp background check. And that's the background check that they do on workman's comp to look at my medical records that's related to workman's comp or police reports and all of that stuff. I think it's related to work. It better be related to workman's comp because they pulling out files that's not public, and it says workman's comp on there. I don't have a workman's comp working in a restaurant. You don't get good benefits working in no restaurant. Ain't no fucking workman's comp. So should nothing come back. It sure as fuck shouldn't take weeks or months. So I'm hoping that they call me. I was hoping that they would call me today. Maybe they'll call me tomorrow. Maybe they'll call me sometime this week. But the HR lady was telling me that they'll probably have me working by Monday. That everything was going to be done within the last week or whatever. And that's it. I'm really upset about the cats. I saw this dude take the cat, one of my cats in, and she always going over there at the door and stuff. But when wrote him a note and asked him if he keep the cat for the next 4 months, and I'll give him food and pay for the cat and all of that stuff. And they called me like today, like a day later, asking me where the cat is, and telling me yeah they'll take the cat in and stuff. You already been I watched them take the cat in. I didn't respond because I think they full of shit. Or my cat is gone. I ain't seen my cat in 2 3 days. She won't stay inside for a second. She'll go in there and eat her food and she right back outside. She will refuse to stay inside for any amount of time. Even if I'm down there with her, trying to get her to lay on my chest or something, or just trying to spend time with her, she will not stay inside. She I got her fixed, and the other cat I haven't gotten her fixed, and she keeps having kittens. And when she had the kittens and stuff, then little she it's like she be jealous or whatever. She hissing at the other cat, and she don't want to be around the other cat or the kittens at all. Just a miserable, miserable life. Miserable life. Hopefully, this job will be the turnaround. They taking all fucking day.